Welcome to the class of 2020 ABS graduation. Here to set the stage for our ceremony are a few graduates telling us what they learned while in the ABS program.
Can you hear me? Hi, my name is Ashley Peterson, and while I was in the ABS program, I learned that as a service provider, I have the responsibility to be culturally aware so that I can best serve those in the marginalized communities that have an under and overrepresented population. By applying theories and frameworks of the program, I can help eradicate service inequities and evoke change.
Hi, my name is Angela, and while I was in the ABS program, I learned the importance of making the connection between the practice of ethics and the bridges it builds, as well as the importance of bringing my learning forward in all I do. Did they get that?
Okay, this is Jacqueline Brown, and while in the ABS program, I solidified that there are no second chances. Every chance is a first.
Do we have Denise?
Yes, we do.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Denise, and while in the ABS program, I learned that white supremacy is perpetuated by capitalism. While in the ABS program, I learned that racial inequities and racial disparities have been allowed to continue existing in most aspects of healthcare and human services. While in the ABS program, I learned that it is our ethical responsibility to end systemic and institutional racism in the United States, and that we are the last hope for ending it forever.
Hello, I'd like to welcome all of you to our virtual ABS graduation program. We're here to celebrate the graduates of 2020. My name is Dr. Pat Russell, and I am the Interim Associate Dean for Healthcare and Human Services. So it's good to see all of you here. I'm just so excited and so incredibly proud that all of you are here today. As is our tradition, I would like to begin by reading our land acknowledgement. On behalf of Seattle Central College, I acknowledge the land on which we stand today as the traditional home of the Coast Salish people, the traditional home of all tribes and bands of Duwamish, Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. Without them, we would not have access to this gathering and to this dialogue. I ask that we take this opportunity to thank the original caretakers of this land who are still with us and to remember them as we move forward in our fight for liberation and reparations. Okay, I want to just take a minute because we are in a very historical moment, and I want to take a moment to acknowledge that we have the pressures of a global pandemic. We have an economic meltdown with historic job losses, along with the continuation of anti-Black and anti-Brown violence that are both encouraged and often perpetuated by our government. It's a time of great change and great uncertainty, in turn, which can cause great anxiety. In light of all the upheaval, I want to commend all of our graduates this evening, not just for staying in school, but for excelling. You are parents, you are human service workers, and now you are graduates. You are proud examples of Seattle Central College excellence. You are embarking on another leg of your journey, just as we need you the most. So, I want to just take just a second here, and for those that don't know, a Bachelor of Applied Science, or a BAS degree, focuses on providing hands-on experiences and incorporating career skills into the classroom and directly into the community. The BAS degree also works with community-based placement sites to bring real experience into the classroom, and frequently incorporates community leaders as guest speakers and on panels. So when our graduates leave here with this degree, they are uber prepared to hit the ground running. And we hear this a lot. In addition, this degree provides a pathway to graduate programs throughout the country. I'd like to, at this time, introduce some of the faculty that over the years, over time, have made this program possible. And faculty, as I call off your name, can you please turn on your videos and wave for us, and then turn them off again. So I will begin with Dr. Wanda Hackett. Dr. Hackett. Dr. Hackett, are you with us? Okay, I will come back. Dr. Gabriel Gerhardt. Dr. Gerhardt.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Gerhardt. Dr. Marcia Tate Arunga, who, by the way, has left us, unfortunately, but fortunately for the Evergreen Tacoma campus, he is now the dean over there. So thank you for coming back. It's good to see you again.
What an honor to be back. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. And congratulations, class of 2020.
That's excellent. So good to see you, Dr. Marcia. For our SHS faculty, we have Peggy Martin Waters. Miss Peggy.
I'm here.
Hi, Miss Peggy.
I'm just, hello.
There you are. Hi, Miss Peggy.
Congratulations to all of you, and kudos for your hard work over the years, both in SHS and ABS. You should be proud of yourselves and each other. Congratulations.
And we have Miss Edwina Ho from SHS.
Hello, congratulations again, and good luck to your all futures.
Thank you. Try Dr. Hackett one more time, Dr. Wanda Hackett. Okay, well, I will say that I know she's congratulating all of you, sending out her love and her best wishes. Okay. Last but not least, I want to introduce our program director, the person who has made all of this possible, and I know who has helped so many of you through the program, and that is Miss Melissa Martinez.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations to all of you. It was a pleasure working with every one of you, and I'm so excited to see what you guys are going to do in the future. So keep in touch. Congratulations.
Thank you, Miss Melissa. I'd like to, at this time, introduce the Executive Dean of Healthcare and Human Services, someone I have been working very close with very proudly, and that is Dr. Barry Robinson. Dr. Robinson has a few words.
Yes, hello everyone. I'd like to welcome or I should say congratulate the class of 2020, and also kind of provide a little bit of, I'll say, wisdom from my old age. This is like Dr. Russell said in the beginning, these are some very trying times. And the world that we live in today is something that has built up over the last few centuries. And you are the group that's going to help change that into the dreams that we all wish that we had right now. So do not stop, do not hesitate. Let your dreams guide you into the near future and make things happen. Because it's through you that we are going to be able to make the changes that are necessary to eliminate injustice and provide equality for everyone. Not only is it going to affect this country, but what you actually are doing is going to spread around the world and cause a domino effect where we have this type of equality, this type of injustice that will end, and hopefully we'll have a peaceful planet. Don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to kind of quote something from Martin Luther King Jr. in a sense that the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, which is very important at this time and in this day and age. That is the goal of a true education. And I believe each and every one of you all, I've sat in on some of the capstones, and I know that you all have that quality and you have those characteristics to make a change in this world and to push us forward into that next stage. If you want to call it evolution, you'll be able to do that for us. So let this be the first hurdle in your educational gap, and fulfill all the dreams, all the wonders, and all the mysteries. Let them unfold in your hands. Class of 2020, congratulations. And I look forward to seeing you all in the future in this better world that you are going to create. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. At this time, I would like to introduce our Executive Vice President of Instruction, Finance, and Planning, Dr. Bradley Lane. Hello, Dr. Lane.
Thank you, Dr. Russell. It's my pleasure to just say a few words to these wonderful graduates from the class of 2020. I think all of us who are speaking to you today are so mindful of the time that we are in and what a sort of unprecedented moment this is. And I know I have been conscious of the fact that you have been imagining what it is like to graduate for many years, but you probably did not imagine it this way over Zoom. And you probably did not imagine this year or even this week. And I'm coming to you really with the advice that this is a time to celebrate, even when celebration may feel weird right now. What I can tell you is that we do have to celebrate, just like we have to grieve. There are times when the world is too heavy to keep going, but you still are. You have kept going every day for 4 years, and many of you have been going a lot longer than that too. You've kept going more than you probably thought you ever could, and you've made it to this day. That shows you something about yourself, that you keep going and that you are capable of anything. What I love so much about the ABS program is that it is directed towards serving the community, just as Dr. Russell said. Our communities need you. They are hurting. They need your care and they need your leadership. I fully believe that teaching you and preparing you for the work that you will do in our communities is the most important work this college does. There is need for community now more than ever. I know I am conscious of how disconnected I feel to other people when everyone is over Zoom and there is so much pain and strife and hopefully justice rising to the fore right in front of us. And if people weren't already feeling disconnected from each other sheltering in place, we can feel that certainly because of police brutality and structural racism and economic inequality, as well as attempts to misinform and divide us from each other. It feels so awful to be so separate right now. But I also know that alongside these experiences of trauma, there is also the power and solidarity and solace in coming together. That is part of what this week is showing us all over the country and right here in Seattle. You may have been actively participating in protest and activism this week. On top of school and work that you're already doing, those are additional sacrifices you're making for our community and our city, our nation, our world, as Dr. Robinson said, our future. In the midst of all this, you reflect community. You reflect those values. You carry them forward. Please keep taking care of yourselves and each other while you do this. It is customary when you address graduates that you give them some advice. So my advice to you is to be seen and to be heard. A lot of times we are looking to other people for answers. What I can tell you is that thing that you have been waiting your whole life for someone to say to you, that answer that you're looking for, whatever that is, that's the thing you were brought here to say. That is your truest purpose. You really are the leader that you have been looking for. We will be together again soon, and your leadership and service are going to make us stronger when we're together again. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Lang, for those inspiring words. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our president. And I think that maybe some of you have probably seen her out there in the public lately. I just want to say that this is one college president that really puts the community in college and puts college in the community and gives what we do so much meaning. And I want to be just like her when I grow up. I'd like to introduce Dr. Sheila Edwards Lang.
Thank you so much. This has been a heavy week, as Dr. Lang said. I'm just so happy, though, that we get to be together tonight to celebrate your accomplishments. And I'm pleased to be able to give a few words of encouragement as you get ready to go out into the world and make that difference that everyone is expecting. I'm pleased to, I've scrolled through the screen so that I can see the different faces, because we are in this distant and impersonal format right now. I look at the screen so that I can get the energy from you through my computer screen. As I come to you tonight, I wish I could speak at a time of more hope and optimism. Instead, for the first time in my professional career, and I've been in higher ed over 30 years, I'm watching a whole class of talented and energized students head out into a world that is racked by a global pandemic, an economic crisis, and a rising tide of violence and injustice against Black and Brown people. It would be easy for us to throw up our hands at this point and say, we give up. As was said earlier, we have been fighting for equality for Blacks for hundreds of years. And it seems as though as we take one step forward, we take 2 steps backwards. It would be easy to pass the buck and say that somebody else has to fix this. And It would be easy to turn a blind eye to what's happening in our city, in our country, and in our world, and stay home and watch Netflix. But many of you, including our faculty and staff, have been out marching for justice this week, even as you are trying to finish your classes. And for some of us, we've been marching for justice for years. But tonight, we get to celebrate you and the end of your hard work and commitment to this field of changing our community. Tonight gives me hope because you have chosen to work in a profession that deals with the problems, the greatest problems in our community, from the level of the poor, the disadvantaged, and the forgotten. I was inspired by what we started with Melissa, and thank you, Melissa, for organizing this. Every year, you do just an incredible job of celebrating our graduates, and so I appreciate you, and I appreciate that you had the students start with what I learned while in the ABS program, because so many of those values and the things that they learned are what we need to change our world. So our graduates are going out to work in organizations and government agencies that offer the most urgent and the most immediate of needs: health, well-being, community, and belonging. And they are going with those skills and understanding the systemic racism that we all must work to dismantle.
It's done? No.
We're fading in out there. So I'm proud of each and every one of you for your decision to pursue your bachelor's degree. Your choice and the way you have pursued it are consistent with our mission as a college. And I have to say that our college is different from any other in the state. I'm so proud to be the president at Seattle Central College. Our students and our faculty push me as a president to do more, even when I'm uncomfortable doing more. A group of our students asked earlier this week if we could open our college to the protesters, and I couldn't figure out a way to do that. But we have figured out a way to partner with businesses to provide water, portable water stations and bathrooms and water refreshment stations on the campus. So we're going to be moving forward with that. That's because students push us. I have a petition now on my desk that I want to share with my executive leadership team next week. So you're making a difference out in the world, but you're also shaping the way that we educate the next generation of leaders who are going to come behind you. So I applaud your commitment to bring change, equity, and racial justice to our community. You are our ambassadors into the world, and I know that you will accomplish greatness. So I wish you good luck. I wish you strength, and I wish you the ability to see through the fog that we're in right now and into a greater future, and a greater future that includes that beloved community that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about and that so many have struggled for. So congratulations, class of 2020. We are so proud of you and look forward to what you have to accomplish in your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sheila Edwards Lang. At this time, I would like to present the valedictorians. This year, we are honored enough to actually have two. We have two cohorts graduating, cohort 17. They actually graduated this fall, and cohort 18, who is graduating this spring. So let me begin by introducing our cohort 17 valedictorian, Ms. Reby Brown.
Do they?
All right, can everyone hear me? Okay.
You. Yay.
All right. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see everyone's faces. I know this isn't how we pictured graduating. I know I didn't think I'd be giving a speech in my kitchen in my slippers, but none of us could have anticipated where the world would be today. But we're here and we're together. And I hope that you all feel a sense of accomplishment and pride for the hard work that you've put in to be here. For some of us, the journey has been long and winding. On the journey, there were toll roads, down power lines, flooded streets, and no AAA in sight. But despite all of that, we made it here to the end. We've crossed that finish line. I want to start by thanking everyone for their support during our 2 years together. I feel truly blessed to have gone through this experience with all of you. I essentially started the program by failing out of college 2 separate times over the past decade. I wasn't convinced that social services were for me, or that I could handle the kind of work that social workers push through every single day. Reflecting on what made this experience different for me, I know that the support and guidance that I got from my family, the cohort, staff, faculty, as well as friends and family created a unique experience that propelled me to finish what I had started 13 years ago. Our cohort was small but mighty. I like to think of us as a powerhouse fueled by late night caffeine and a lot of passion. You've all inspired me. You've shared experiences that I hold on to that breathe life into what we read into our text. Because of that, I want to highlight our cohort and the amazing people in it. We've all accomplished so much, and I wouldn't be in this space without you. First, I want to speak about Sharonda Sylvanoff, the person to have in your corner of the ring. Sharonda fights for the reunification of foster children with their birth parents, and I think I can speak for everyone that this cohort would not be the same without her moving speeches that came from deep within her heart. Her ability to draw in an audience and move them with her words was something that I'll always be in awe of. Next, Alexa Joe, who decided to dive deep into all subjects and really push for social justice. We all felt her personal growth, and I know I was motivated because of it. Her passion for the HIV and AIDS community is inspiring, as is her will to go on and get her doctorate. Jackie Brown, a true warrior, and to me, a true friend. Jackie asked all of the hard questions, and some of the weird questions. They would start off as broad and grow more direct. They would feed and fuel discussions, bringing us closer together and closer to knowledge. Miles Kelly brought the positivity and thoughtful reflections. By presenting information in a new and unique way, we are all privy to the genius that is Miles Kelly. Megan Bagley, a licensed chemical dependency professional, brought her hands-on experience front and center and continued to educate us as the years went on. If I had one word to describe Megan, it would be encouraging. Monica Villarreal, your heart created bridges. Your artistic talents brought new life to your passions, and we all benefited from seeing you speak your truth. Your capstone still sticks with me to this day. Letitia Thomas, you never backed down. You kept moving forward despite it all. Your tenacity is palpable and contagious. Keep going. Priscilla Contreras, your passion for creating a safe, equitable world for youth gave me a window into a world that I didn't know much about. Your smile and energy brought so much life into our classes. Shalom Bradford, you have so much passion for the social services. Shay speaks from her heart, advocates for her clients, finding housing solutions for Seattleites. I'll always look back on our cold, wet winter bus trips together fondly. Pontit Mirabeau always looked after everyone, making sure we were all happy and advocated for within the program. She is deeply committed to her work with young children and families, as well as advocating for others in her daily life. Destiny Keenan, the first person I met in the program. As soon as you meet her, you know that her heart is full of gold. She works hard advocating for homeless youth in our community. Angela Mata, always the first to say hello. Angela shed light into her research into domestic violence and is a clear advocate for women. Angela is also creative, using videos to document her thoughts and ideas for the world. Claudia Cruz, who is so clearly dedicated to learning, growing, and advocating for others in numerous different aspects of her life. Tom Wormstead, whose unique perspective always brought more to our class discussions. It was always great to see Tom expand and grow in our lessons. And finally, Manjula Deo, who was an endless champion for us all in the financial aid department. She always found a way to shine, especially when discussing her daughters and mother. When I asked some of the cohort to sum up our time in the ABS program in one word, these were the responses: collaboration, maturity, evolving, support, teamwork, and my personal favorite, the phrase, "the value is in the battle." And it is. We're battling a lot of different things right now, all of us separately and together. Today, our reality is we're not walking across the stage together. We don't have that moment that we've been waiting for. But here we have a moment to acknowledge that disappointment. I really think that's an important part of this process. But after we sit in that, let's move forward knowing we gave it all we got. We've heard that it's not the gown that makes us the graduates or professional. It really is the hard work that we've put in. Now's our time, as Dr. Hunt and Dr. Hackett say, to take our learning forward. The world is hurting, the world needs fighters, and the world needs healers. We are amongst those people. As Angela Davis said, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. We now have the tools. We can put our data on the wall and make real change through intentional actions. I'm so proud of everyone here today. Congratulations to the class of 2019 and 2020.
Thank you, Phoebe, for those very inspiring words, and congrats to your cohort. I would like to introduce now the valedictorian for cohort 18, Jamaica Davis.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hi. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. And that was a beautiful speech, Phoebe. I hope to get to know you in the future because a lot of those words were similar to the feelings and thoughts I have about my cohort. I want to also thank you, the ancestors, the Duwamish, my genetic familiar ancestors, for the hard work ethic handed down through the generations, the community of this college who made this degree possible. I would like to thank the people of color, indigenous people, migrant people, your sacrifice for my privilege. I see you, I stand with you while I'm sitting now, but I stand with you today and every day. My moment of silence is in reflection, and my words have no purpose if not to shed light on the importance of your life. I will hold space for your anger, your words, and your life because it matters to me. There is no excuse for the abuses of power you have lost your loved ones to. I would like to thank my elders, Philippa, Peter, Marion, Bud. I'd like to thank my parents, Stephanie, Jason, Neil, and Julie, my siblings, Ajax, Shawan, Boo, Gavin, and my partner, Mark. I would like to thank my fairy godchildren. You know who you are. I would like to thank so many people. And you know, if I have personally invited you, that your presence in my life has been incredibly impactful. And please know that I see you out there. I would like to thank Melissa for your guidance and your work to honor us today. I feel you. I'd like to thank Dr. Wanda and Dr. Gerhard. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, reading all of my long-winded papers, and giving me A's. It's their fault that you have to listen to me today. So Most of all, I would like to thank my beautiful daughter, Ella. I would like to thank her for her sacrifice and for rising to this challenge. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Obtaining this degree has been a long dream of mine, and despite the obstacles, I'm here today with the great honor of addressing you as valedictorian of my cohort. I have spent the last 2 years in the Applied Behavioral Science program, focusing my studies on families experiencing special needs. And I believe that parents, myself included, are getting more experience than we ever imagined in accessing education for our children with massive barriers. I believe we can all learn from this experience to develop deeper empathy for families experiencing barriers to education every day. When people have recently congratulated me on my achievements, they have asked me if I feel sad about the virtual aspect of this graduation. So to my academic family, my cohort, the tears, the love, the laughter, and all the struggle, it was worth it. It's a lot easier knowing that we are in this together. And it's hard to feel sorry for myself when I know about all of the sacrifices that you have all made. The stressful, tight commutes from work, late nights away from all of our children, deaths in the family, financial aid shortfalls, and work conflicts. We have felt all of those trials. I feel deeply saddened when we've lost members because of those conflicts. I have grown so deeply attached to experiencing all of this with you. Among us have been fighters for the rights of people of color, Indigenous people, missing and murdered Indigenous women, LGBTQIA+, incarcerated people, those transitioning to life outside of jail, families, those experiencing special needs, homelessness, addiction, grief, loss, and trauma. I have heard you, and I bring all of your research forward with me in my heart. I would like to make this about you, my cohort, the faces of the family I will never forget. I'd like to share some of my favorite memories from our time together. I remember marching at the MLK rally and attending special conferences at Garfield High School. I remember the day that we met some of the original Black Panthers, thanks to Dr. Arunga. We met Elmer Dixon and Phyllis Mobley Noble. How about the day that Denise wore her Bernie Sanders jumpsuit to class for her presentation? Denise, your presentations are everything. I love them so much. Remember the day that Dr. Hackett told us that she was a twin? We all were floored. I also appreciate, on top of those positive things, being called out for my own racism and privilege, because it has allowed me to develop a thicker skin and to be less fragile. What I know now is that my learning in the ABS program would not be possible without empathy. None of us would be sitting here as graduates without having it or receiving it. I know that every advancement I've had in my life carries with it the seed of empathy that existed outside of my own achievement and in the heart of someone else. Empathy practiced is like giving someone else a dose of a vaccine, a positive barrier to the struggles they will experience. And I read so many beautiful quotes from women of color. My favorites are from Audre Lorde, Angela Davis, and Bell Hooks. And one that seems very current and appropriate right now is from our beautiful representative, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is one of my heroes. She says, if you are calling for an end to this unrest, but you are not calling for the end to the conditions that created the unrest, you are a hypocrite. So I endeavor to not be that hypocrite. Join me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tameka. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Deborah Sullivan as our keynote speaker. And it's so good to see you again, Dr. Sullivan. I'm so excited. Dr. Deborah Sullivan is the founder and executive director of Ashe Preparatory Academy, a P through 12 inclusion model based on cultivating genius for community action. She's also past president of the Seattle affiliate of the National Black Child Development Institute, where the primary focus of her work has been around implementing appropriate learning environments for Black children and working with families and communities to increase their advocacy for their children. Prior to that, Dr. Sullivan served as the Dean of Applied Behavioral Sciences at Seattle Central College, providing leadership for early childhood family studies, social and human services, parent education, and of course, the BAS program. And she was my very first dean when I came on there as well. She was the campus dean of Pacific Oaks College Northwest for 6 years and was the co-founder and president of the Praxis Institute for Early Childhood Education. While at Pacific Oaks College, Dr. Sullivan helped prepare early childhood P through 3 and K through 8 teachers to work specifically with children of color, children learning English, and children from low-income families. She continued this work at the Praxis Institute for Early Childhood Education with an additional focus on leadership and social change. Her current works pulls all of this together in the founding of Ashe Preparatory Academy, which is designed around the research regarding what works best for our most vulnerable, underachieving students, and what it looks like when that research is implemented school-wide. Dr. Sullivan is also a past governing board member of the National Association for Education of Young Children, where she serves as a member at large. She's the author of 3 books. Dr. Sullivan's 3rd book, Cultivating the Genius of Black Children, guides teachers in creating classrooms that support the learning needs of Black children and many other children with similar learning needs and preferences. Dr. Sullivan has also written several articles for Exchange Magazine, including Learning to Walk, a look at individual growth and change, and Managing the Measure Up Monster, Leadership and the Balance. One of Dr. Sullivan's favorite pastimes is cooking, and she owns at least 150 cookbooks representing a variety of countries, cooking techniques, and types of food. Give her some garlic, onions, and olive oil, and prepare for a feast. Dr. Sullivan earned her doctorate in educational leadership and her master's degree in curriculum and instruction, both from Seattle University. She has a bachelor's degree in cultural anthropology from the University of Washington, and she was recently awarded an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree from Champlain College in Vermont. We are honored, and it is my pleasure to welcome back Dr. Deborah Sullivan.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome, graduates. Welcome all of you who got them to become graduates. And congratulations. As people have said already, these are interesting times, but these are also very telling times. And as you go forward with a brand new degree in hand, there are a couple of things I want you to remember. I want you to remember that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our light, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And you may ask yourself, who am I to be brilliant, talented, powerful? Actually, who are you not to be? Playing small does not serve the world, our country, or our children. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. The power to change the world, to change our country, is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we give children permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, we automatically liberate others, because our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. That was part of a speech that Nelson Mandela gave for his inauguration. But it's also based on Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. And that is supposed to be based on A Course in Miracles by Helen Schucman. I think when I read this, that so many people have so many similar feelings and so many deep thoughts and wants and desires and passions for the work that lies ahead. And sometimes you just have to call on words that others have used. And especially now, you're going out with the degree, as I said. It's going to be your job, along with us, to change systemic and systematic oppression and racial and social and economic injustice in our country. It is systemic because it spans so many of our institutions, institutions that you will become a part of. And it is systematic. It has been happening for decades. It's been happening for centuries. And so when we think about the hard work that comes before us, and as you think about your completion of your degree in applied behavioral science, it's that application that I want you to focus on. Think about that application in an applied degree, with an applied degree. And it's going to mean that you're going to be called upon to do a lot. And you'll be stretched in directions, and you'll hear things that may seem confusing or perplexing or divisive. All of those things are definitely going to happen. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that that will happen. However, in looking at what has happened just in the last few months here, I was on another Zoom call with the Congressional Black Caucus, and they were basically highlighting how challenging it is to be living while Black in America, and how it can become dangerous just to be shopping while Black in America, or sleeping while Black in America, or jogging while Black in America. And that for many of us, it's a time of reliving consistent, systemic, and systematic trauma. And for others, it's their first look into the everyday experiences of Black and brown and indigenous and poor and so many other marginalized people in our country. It's a glimpse into what it means to walk outside your door and wonder what will happen. It's a look into thinking about what it means when your son says, I think I'm going to go for a run, which mine does. It makes you think about, okay, maybe I should keep them in the house, not let him go. He's a grown man with children. I cannot keep him in the house and not let him go. So we have to think about the world and what we want to provide for all of us so that we can move forward as a healed society. As you go forward, there will be people who will challenge you in your attempts to change the world, in your attempts to change society, in your attempts to change your city, in your attempts just to change some ideas that may be prevalent in your own families. So I'm going to give you some words of advice. Graduates get all kinds of those, so I'm not going to let you off the hook either. I'm going to give you some words of advice that come from the article I wrote, Learning to Walk. I wrote this article after watching my great nephew learn how to walk and how very sort of wobbly he was and unsure of himself. And one day he was walking down a hallway and I came around a corner and I put my arms out to him to go and pick him up so I could smell his neck and nibble his cheeks. And he turned around with his eyes all big and started walking away from me. He could barely walk, but he was determined to run. He was determined to be self-determined. He did not want to be picked up any longer. He did not want other people to just be in charge and in control over his life. He was learning to walk, and he had a new skill, and he was bound and determined to use it. And so I thought about that as we grown-ups think about individual growth and change. So here's some things to think about. All of these apply to typically developing children. So keep in mind that not everyone's circumstances are the same. But in general, if you don't stand up, you can't walk. You have to be able to, babies need to stand up in order to be able to walk. Again, typically developing ones. But what happens is they get 15 more inches of perspective. Crawling gives you a very limited perspective, but then they find a couch or they find a chair, they find something, a coffee table, and they pull themselves up and they look around. And all of a sudden they realize that their world has just gotten bigger. So as you go forward, just remember, this is about perseverance and determination. You must stand up so that you can walk. The next one. Just because you can't now doesn't mean you can't later. When babies are first being forced to learn how to walk by grown-ups, we prop them up and we hold them up and then we let go of them. And they stand there and they look at us full of fear and intimidation. It's like, I am not sure I'm supposed to be doing this. And then they plop back down to the safety of the floor. Just because you can't do something now doesn't mean you can't do it later. I know for a fact that as you were working through your BAS program, there were all kinds of classes that you read those titles and you were like, I am not sure I can learn this. And then you did. So just because you weren't able to do something previously doesn't mean you can't now. And just because you may not feel that you can do something now doesn't mean that you can't later. You can. One of my favorites is from Clementine Paddleford, who flew a little plane in the 1940s, and she was a reporter for a magazine back in a time when women could only report on social events and food and fashion. But she told her daughter, never grow a wishbone where a backbone should be. We can wish so many things would be different in our world today, and we can wish and wish and wish. We wish that somebody would do this. We wish that somebody else would do that. We wish that they would do the other. But sometimes you need to remove the wishbone and go and grow your backbone. And I know that so many of you now have the skills to be able to do that. You can be that change because now you have the tools and the skills and the ability to replace a wishbone with the backbone and be an example for others. If it were easy, you would have done it a long time ago. The problems and the challenges that we face in our country today are very difficult. It's going to be hard to solve these problems and to address these challenges and to create accountability. It's going to be challenging because if it were easy, you would have done it a long time ago. We would have done it a long time ago. Someone would have done it a long time ago. So get ready to face your challenges. Face it with excitement, face it with courage, face it with the knowledge that you have something to contribute. Don't believe everything you think. This is about balancing two different things: unanswered questions and unquestioned answers. If you have answers that you have never questioned, it's time to not believe everything you think and to rethink those, question those, and have lots of unanswered questions. It's not about changing what you believe in. It's just about making sure that you still stand firm where you are. Or is there more you need to know? Something you didn't know, something you are just now realizing, just now finding out. And does your answer need to be challenged? Because you should not believe everything you think. If you grow, you will get bigger. All of us went through some awkward stage, I'm sure, as we were making the transition through our teenage years into adulthood. You will be awkward. You'll feel incompetent. You will need to practice new skills and ability. You will need to push yourself to try to feel normal in doing something that you may not have done before. If you grow, you will get bigger. As children grow, they get bigger, and they are awkward. When babies are learning to walk, they are quite awkward, and they teeter and they totter, but they're determined to keep moving forward. So don't be surprised if you feel like you're feeling a little bit incompetent. You just got these new skills. Are you really as good at it as you think you need to be, as other people want you to be, as you want you to be? It's okay if you're not. You continue to apply so that you can get bigger and get better. And last, if you change, you will be different. From infant to toddler to young child, there's no going back. When my great nephew turned around and walked away from my outstretched arms, he was no longer going to be that beautiful little dumpling that we all picked up and loved and nibbled. He was no longer going to be that. With who you are now and what you have now, you will be different. And there will those who will challenge you on that. They will be like, well, you know, you used to be so much more fun when you weren't always talking about systemic and systematic oppression and racial and social and economic injustice. And, you know, you were a lot more fun. We like that person. Don't waver. If you change, you will be different. And there will be those who will be outright upset with you. I can't talk to you anymore. Your views are so different from mine that I don't see where we have anything in common. If you change, you will be different. But keep listening to them, because sometimes they just need more time so that they can question their own answers and not always believe everything they think. So I close with, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, as you are all as of today and going forward. So thank you very much. Congratulations. Go forward, do good.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan. I thought I changed my background here because it's right about the time I'm starting to hear the helicopters overhead. So I want to introduce right now Miss Melissa, who will introduce the Honor Society recognition. Who gives that? I do want to say, though, that some of our students will be honoring what is in their hearts as well. So Miss Melissa, please take it away.
Thank you. As the manager of the program, I have worked closely with each one of these graduates, and I know getting to this point has been no easy feat for many of them. For the last few years, they've had to balance being in classes 2 to 3 evenings per week while working full-time jobs, still being responsible for caring for their families, in the last few months also dealing with the anxieties and stress of coronavirus, and having to switch to completely online classes. And on top of all of that, still needed to find time for homework and getting those APA citations correct. Each one of you that is graduating tonight has worked extremely hard to get to this point. I have watched you work tirelessly and overcome many challenges along the way. I'm so excited for you in your next chapter in life. At this time, we have a special recognition for the students who have achieved academic excellence by obtaining a 3.8 grade point average or higher in all of their bachelor's level classes. These students are now members of the Alpha Beta Kappa National Honor Society, where they are joining a group of elite scholars nationwide. Those of you participating in tonight's ceremony, we would like to recognize you collectively. We ask that you turn on your videos and unmute yourself when I call your name. We invite a guest joining you tonight to place the honor cords on you and present you with the Honor Society membership certificate. And we would also like to recognize the following Alpha Beta Kappa National Honor Society students. They are Rebe Brown, Priscilla Contreras, Robin Krogan, Jamaica Davis, Alexa Joe, Olivia Morris, Pontet Mirabeau, Jessica Rosenberger, and Denise Ure.
Okay, so it's done.
Go Robin! Yeah!
Congratulations, Pontiff.
Not yet.
Congratulations.
Hey, Robin.
That's not it. No,
Hi,
but thanks,
Pontiff.
everyone.
Hi, Ann.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
everyone. You guys are the best.
Way to go.
Mega.
Thanks, you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Miss Melissa, and congratulations to all of you. I would like to introduce right now our Associate Vice President of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, and who was also a one-time Dean in our Behavioral Science Department, Dr. Valerie Hunt, with a special poem for the graduates. Dr. Hunt.
Take one breath together. In, out. Keep being a cohort. I can't believe it's cohort 17 and 18. How did we do? We done the darn thing, didn't we, Dr. Renetta, Ms. Melissa? Oh my goodness. And Dean Russell, y'all don't know. Okay, I'll get to it right now. Now, I wrote this poem for all of y'all. But I wrote this poem for the Black of all of y'all. And then I wrote this poem for the co-accomplices in the room. Because I want you all to be bold and stay safe. Can you hear my voice? Can y'all hear me? I want y'all to be bold and stay safe. For you are part of the arc of history. Be bold, stay safe. For the sake of those who walk to school with National Guards as escorts. They need you to continue taking those steps into the uncertain, dangerous future because they are now your escorts and your guardians. The past is full of trauma, yet the past is also full of stardust, our ancestors, our protectors. So be bold, stay safe. Because for some of us, we feel the shackle of no longer being 3/5 of a person for one person's vote. We are now target practice. For anyone who, well, not anyone, those who stole your bodies and branded you for property by right of their greed, by right of their good, by right of their God, by right of their birth. To kill Black bodies is the birthright of white people, white laws, white property, white cause, so that George, Sandra, and Murdy B, and Richard Lee, and Luis become cause celeb for dying under scrutiny. So mutiny, all bodies, mutiny against hate, against rage, mutiny against fear. Be bold, stay safe. My father would say to me, you don't have to kiss anybody's ass to get along with him. So be bold, stay safe. Safe is not silence. Safe is caring for each other but mainly your soul, so you can remember yourself when you are mortally wounded, left for dead. Remember, you are stardust. You are footsteps in a whole line of teachers, astronauts, mothers of the future, fathers of the now. You cannot die if your name is ever on the lips and in the hearts of those who love you because they bore you. They love you in their wombs, on the streets, while protesting late nights, phone calls because you just can't do that next assignment. And your mind is elsewhere. Elsewhere with the bodies and the souls of those who do not come back from battle. But be bold, stay safe, because you are the guardians of the past, and we put our tears, Dr. Renetta, Melissa, Dr. Russell, President beloved Sheila, we put our tears, sacrifices, legacies in your heart and hands for safekeeping. Use these gifts, then pass them along to the next generation so they can grow up safe, safe enough to be bold. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, Sister Dr. Valerie. Well, now comes the moment that we have all been waiting for. We want to present the graduates of 2020. First, we're going to display a slide with information from each graduate on who they would like to thank for this accomplishment and what they look forward to after graduation. And then graduates will be presented with a class of 2020 medallion and a certificate of completion at their home. Please ask your guests or your family, your loved ones, to put the medallion on the graduate and hand them their certificate. So without further ado, people, here are the class of 2020.
Megan Bagley.
Woo!
Ooh, great job, good job.
Thank you.
You're.
Go class 2020. Woo!
Yeah, let's get it, let's get it, let's go.
Victoria Bobby Leva.
So. There we go. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I'm thankful to all those who have been with me and who were with me and made this graduation possible. Thank you, my mom and dad. Thank you, my partner, Turo. This is your ceremony. You made this graduation possible for me by taking care of my child and the home when I was spending days and nights on Capitol Hill. Thank you, my dear son, Michael. Thank you, my dear friends, and one of them is here today. Her name is Isabella Jang Lee. Thank you for all your support. And thank you all my friends from the college. I have so many friends now. Thank you all the instructors. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, my dog, Layla. Thank you.
Shalom Bradford.
Shalon, are you?
Jacqueline Brown.
Go, Jackie!
Go, Jackie!
Jackie!
Go,
Jackie!
Jackie!
Jackie Brown!
Jackie!
Oh, yes. Yes.
Told you could do it. Woohoo!
Oh, Jackie.
My tiny paper crane from Dr. Woods. I've had
Yes,
this.
yes, yes. You're a beautiful crane. Yes.
Rebe Brown.
Rebe!
Oh my God. Go back up.
Go, Rebe!
You think for my son Brown?
Yay!
Thank you. Is it your class? That right there, my son Brown.
I don't know. No, he wasn't in my class. Oh, oops. His name is my.
Priscilla Contreras.
Woo! Priscilla!
There was someone and I'm glad with the support that I had from my friends and family around me, my cohort and the faculty. I'm so grateful for this moment that I've made here. Thank you. We love you.
Nolvia Crisp.
Hey, Novia!
I'm here with all my kids. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody. I'm very, very proud of myself.
Where's your medal?
Come here, get close to me. I got my son here, my daughter. Everybody's at my house right now. So thank you. That's it.
Robin Krogan.
Go, Robin!
Go, Robin!
All right, Robin!
Oh my God, look at her.
Robin!
That's Robin.
Hey, Robin! It's Dad. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Robin.
We love you. Congratulations from Dad.
We love you.
Yeah,
Love
we
you,
love
Robin.
you.
Congratulations. Oh.
Robin. And you, Robin. It's Dad. It said congratulations.
I lost the picture.
Jamaica Davis.
Right, Jamaica.
More.
Congratulations.
More.
Class of 2020!
Class of 2020! Yeah!
Woo! Jamaica, you did it!
You look great. Isn't she beautiful? Let us go.
Alexa Joe.
Go Alexa!
Congrats.
Alexa!
Sacar un doctorado en
Alexa! Let me talk now!
Yeah.
Hi. So statistics, 24% of students who enroll are first generation students. And out of those, only 50% graduate. And out of those, only 20.3 are female. And in single parent households, about 12% of students end up graduating. In the US, there's 34.4 professors that are female and only 3.8 are Black women. That says a lot about who's educating our youth. We all beat the odds. So screw the statistics and let's change those numbers around. Thank you to the self-sacrificing professors that have equipped us with the knowledge to make a positive impact. And thank you to my cohort for continuing this journey. I hope we all practice everything that we've been taught. And thank you to my mother who raised me on her own and for creating this firecracker who doesn't know how to give up. Thank you.
Woohoo! Go Alexa!
Woo!
Joanne Jones.
Hey, Joanne!
I love you. I love you. I love
We love you.
Joan. Joan.
Congratulations.
My family who's here all the way from Mexico. Viva Mexico! Woo! Thank you to my cohort. Awesome, and I love you all.
Okay, let me do this later.
Destiny Keenan.
Go Destiny!
Good job, Destiny. Great job. Good job, Destiny.
Look at that beautiful family.
Oh.
Congrats.
Thank you, everyone.
Way to go, Destiny.
Thank you.
Angela Mata.
Love you.
Congratulations.
Proud of you.
Oh, hi. Oh, yeah, there we go. Congratulations, Angela. Class of 2020.
Love you, sister.
Yay.
Love you, Ange.
Love
Way to
you.
go.
Love you. Love you, Ken.
Love you, BFF.
Charlotte, Mom. And thank you all. I love you all. And thank you, Tina. Thank you. All right. Thank
Way
you.
to go, Tina.
Woohoo. Woo. Bye.
Bye.
Olivia Morse.
Oh, look, Olivia! Set up. She didn't have to.
Congratulations! We're so proud! I love you! Yay!
Your medal. Your medal.
Thank you.
Oh, she has it on. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Ponte Mirabeau.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed my cue. Thank you, everybody. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank my mom. We are currently going through a phase in our life where I just lost my father from cancer back in December, and I'd like to say that I'd like to thank him for raising such a beautiful and strong. Allison, my sister, Allison, you are the best, and I'd also like to say that the changes that we want to see, we have to be those change. And with obtaining my degree, I'm hoping that I can be the change that I want to see in the future. And we're not the last one. I want to see my children be going to college just like me. So that's all I'd like to say. And thank you so much again. Oh, and thank you to my beautiful boyfriend.
White people.
Good job, Ponte.
Go Ponte! Go Ponte!
Ashley Peterson.
Yay, Ashley!
Woo! 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 Go Ashley! Congratulations!
Come on.
We know that part. Beautiful Ashley. Let's go Ashley. Woo! You did it. Woo! Good job. Yeah.
You have to stop dancing for a second.
Right.
Congratulations.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Woo!
Jessica Rosenberger.
Yay, Jessica, we love you.
Why are you looking at me? You had that one problem one time.
Sharonda Polivanoff.
Let's go.
Good job.
Like to say, Black education matters. Thank you, Black queens, doctors who paved the way. Thank you, Dr. Russell, Dr. Hackett, that reminded me no matter what comes up, you keep going. I was in the cohort, and I want to tell you, anything is possible with God and the support of all the people that love you. Thank you, Angela Jefferson. You get up in here, my sister, master's degree. This is
Hi, Angela.
God bless. Thank you.
What?
Denise Ure.
Go Denise!
Yay, you did. Congratulations.
Lives Matter. I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being supportive. Thank you to my mom. And yes, thank you. I'm going to take this and I'm going to do positive good in the world. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay!
Woo! Okay, I can go now.
Monica Villarreal.
Woohoo, Monica! Monica! Woohoo! Wait.
Okay. Oh, there.
Go, Monica!
Oh my gosh. I'm a first generation college graduate. I worked my butt to get where I'm at right now, and you guys are all inspiring. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you all.
Oh, Monica.
Oh, Monica.
Tom Armstead.
Go, Tom.
First off, Black Lives Matter. And this would have been a lot harder to do without the support from the cohort and my family and friends.
And your kitty cats.
Yay, Tom!
Congratulations, Tom.
Go, Tom.
Go, Tom.
Congratulations.
We love you.
Awesome.
Graduates not pictured. Claudia Cruz. Miles Kelly. Nicholas Lentz. Alnicia Moore. Letitia Thomas.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our program, and if we were in the auditorium, if we were in the, where we were all in person, I would say this to wrap this up. I would say, graduates, please stand. Please take your tassels, move them from the right side to the left side. Congratulations. Please turn and face your friends and family. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Seattle Central College's ABS class of 2020. Congratulations. Do good things. We know you will.
Yay.
Hey.
Everybody's good.
Oh.
Congratulations to you all.
I can see.
You did it.
We did that, period, point blank.
Losing my way. All the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Where'd the song go?
Let's give a huge shout out to Melissa for organizing this. Wow. And congratulations to our graduates.
Thank you. I don't know what's going on.
Is it playing now?
See clearly now.
Thank you.
No, the song doesn't want to play.
I don't know what's going on.
Is it not playing?
The rain is gone.
There it is now.
I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Must have done something.
I faded it out so people can spend a little time congratulating each other.
So you can all turn your cameras on and talk to each other and congratulate each other.
Congratulations, everybody.
Woo! Congratulations, cohort 2017. I miss you guys.
Thank you guys.
Sure looks bold for you all.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, for everything you've given me. Thank you for all of the teachers.
Thank
So
you, Melissa.
blessed.
Where you guys?
Congratulations, Jamaica.
Ashley Peterson.
Thank you. I hear
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Thank you all. Thank you, everybody at Seattle Central. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Arunga. Thank
Thank you, Ruby, for that great shout out.
Yes, I love you.
Everyone make a wish. It's the strawberry full moon.
Okay, I got it.
Well, just for the record.
Love to everyone.
Thank you to Ricky's family for being here.
Should we take a quick
Sue and
picture?
Jim. I love you, Sue and Jim.
Sure,
And
how do you do that?
Ashley, I hope you heard my speech about you, big sis. I couldn't have done it without you. You mean the world to me.
Yay.
Everybody look at your camera. I'm going to take a group picture.
I see you. Plus, I see Dr.
I will
Gerhard.
let me do the.
Thanks for your help today, Dr. Gerhard. I needed it.
Oh, you didn't need it. You were all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gerhard, for your guidance and your excellent teaching skills that taught me many things.
Melissa?
Yes.
I can't turn on my camera.
Dr. Pat.
I am so proud of you, Jamaica. This is your father.
I hear you.
Sure.
I love you, Dad.
I guess
can't turn it
Love
on?
you, Jamaica.
I guess it's not meant to be. It's okay.
Who is it?
It's
Ponte?
Ponte Mirabeau, yeah.
Oh, Ponte.
Ponta, go out and come back in.
Go
No.
to Ponta's little
wait.
picture. There's a blue screen, and then just ask her to turn on her
Hey,
camera.
Mom.
I think
There
I
you
did it.
are.
I'm sorry. I just want to be
good,
able to
Melissa.
thank you guys. Guys.
Hey, Ponte.
Hi. Is that Sharonda?
Huh?
Sharonda.
Hey, Shonda.
Hey,
Hi,
Jamaica.
guys.
Good job, Megan.
Shout out
Hey.
to all my girls. We did it.
What's
And
up,
Ruby,
Megan?
what a wonderful speech you gave, Ruby. Really.
I
You-
agree.
A lot make a difference.
That just gave me chills,
Beautiful
girl.
speech,
Here,
Ruby.
come in the middle.
Really nice.
Dr. Pat, thank you for everything. It's
Yeah.
wonderful to have women of color as a role model, just like what Alexa has said, that's often not had in the classroom. And it's wonderful just to know that when my kids go to college, they will have people that look like us represent education.
Ponte, that look like me? That look like me, sis?
They
Yeah.
will always look like you. Beautiful and
It's all-
strong. Ashley, you
it's
know I got
always-
love for you all the way, babe.
Oh my God.
All the way. I got love for you all day.
I love
Okay.
that.
Look at this, you guys. Can anybody see my screen? Look.
Yes. I love that. Ashley, that's beautiful.
Oh my
Yes, it
God.
is.
I literally almost cried. Like,
Ashley, where you at, girl?
Thank you for everything, Olivia. You're my rock. But I can't
Ashley.
keep my mind together.
Ashley Peterson.
yes, ma'am.
Girl, I got something for you.
What you got for me, sis? Is that
Can
right?
you see me?
Hold on,
Yeah,
wait.
we see you.
Don't do it.
Ashley, we finna do it, girl.
I gotta Is that Robin?
Yeah, girl, it's Robin.
There
You ready, girl?
Don't-
You
don't
ready,
do
girl?
it.
Let me
Here we go. I got something for you.
Don't do it.
Awesome. Oh no, trouble.
All right, Robin.
To you.
Get it down.
And we did it.
Oh, love you.
But Robin, did you see this? My sister got this made. Can you see it?
That's cute.
That's my mommy.
Oh, I love it, girl. You know your mom will be so proud of you.
Aww. I'm gonna cry
Yeah.
later. Not now. I worked too hard on my makeup to cry now.
Okay, girl, I'm so proud of you. And your mom is so proud. Your dad is so proud.
Okay.
I love this so much. Dr. Gerhardt, thank you so much for coming. Is Poppy
Okay.
What did you just
Poppy right
do?
there? Poppy?
Thought I could join
Yes.
Poppy made me.
Hi, Dr. Gerhardt.
She laid the groundwork for me to be what. Yes, she did, sis. Poppy laid the groundwork.
Yes. Yes, Poppy. You're the one.
Thanks for being here,
girl.
Poppy.
Yes, Poppy.
Ashley, you did the work, girl. You hustled and did the
I
work.
told them that research.
Hi,
is
Jamaica.
not
I just
linear.
saw you. Hi. Yeah.
Research
Hey.
is not linear.
Hi, honey. Congratulations.
Research is not
Hi,
linear.
Ella.
Yes, Poppy.
Love you.
Everyone.
Love you too, sweetie. Hi, Ella.
Yes. Yeah, just one.
She hears you. She hears you. Oh, good.
Yes. This is
I love you so much.
We'll talk about that off camera.
This is so much fun. I really didn't know what to expect. It's
Me
great.
either.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Got any?
We all been doing this kind of conferencing for the last
No, this is
couple
good.
of months.
I
It's
know.
been good.
Yes,
I love it.
Girl, I would have been thought you logged off, sis.
Okay.
Ms. Ghana, you still on here? I see you, sis.
Yeah. I gotta get off of here.
Okay, everybody, bye.
Definitely. Yeah.
Bye, Ashley.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers,
Congratulations, everybody.
We did it, guys.
Bye, Dr.
Great. You
Soy.
deserve it.
Bye.
Melissa.
Bye, and congratulations.
Olivia.
Thank you, Melissa,
Thank you
for all your work.
beautiful work.
I can't hear you.
You and I got plans this weekend for a peaceful
Who was
protest.
saying?
I said
Was it you, Ashley?
Olivia.
Yes, it's Ashley, Melissa. You put all this together. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
So true. You did a
Melissa?
lot of work. Thank you
Melissa
so much.
literally knew what was going on with me at all. Like when I would come back to her, she would really reflect back on what was going on in the last corner, and the fact that she could remember that stuff about me
Explain to her what's
corner
going
to
on.
corner, that speaks volumes of who you are and what you're about. I applaud that, sis. Literally.
Thank you.
Melissa
Thank you.
know how to do.
She knows how to do
Melissa know how to do all the time.
it.
Hey, Melissa,
Thank you.
when will this
Yes.
video be uploaded?
Yeah. So
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Kevin or Jesse. I'm not exactly sure.